Today, we're working on Mission Impossible. Homebrew is where the heart is. It's where dungeon masters, murder hobos, dice goblins, and chaos gremlins come together to turn big ideas into unforgettable adventures. So, how do you take that spark, a setting, a villain, a mechanic, and turn it into something that actually works at the table? Your table. That's simple. We brew it. We've got 6 flavorful categories to walk through designed to help you build campaigns that capture the feel of your favorite worlds and IPs. That's going through categories of B, base build, what are the core components, R, resonance and vibe. This is where we make our poetic hearts sing. What's the tone and theme and details? E is extra froth, what makes this wildly fun? W is weird for us, that strange little twist you'd never find on D&D Beyond. I is the inciting quest, every good campaign needs a reason to leave home. And T, threat level, what's the danger, who or what is the big bad? Brew it. You know I love an acronym, Taylor. I've seen Mission Impossible before, but you have not. So we're going to play a little game where you guess what the movies are about by just the title and the random social media clips you've seen. I'm going to rate out a scale of 1 to 10, so go for it.
Okay, great. So here we go. Mission Impossible. Number 1, there's a mission. Number 2, it's impossible. And I think those are the kind of the main parts. Here's the thing, though. I know that at least there's a spy. And I know that Tom Cruise is there. I don't know how he's involved, but I'm assuming he may be the spy. And I also know there's a lot of stunts. I've seen clips of people being like, oh my God, this stunts in Mission Impossible. I think there's a plane. So this is I feel like my big thing is okay, it's maybe Tom Cruise as a spy jumping off of a plane and completing a mission to get some information. But here's the thing, the mission is so impossible that he has to do all these crazy stunts just to get the thing that he has to get. And then he accomplishes it at the end of the day, which is why there's 7 of these movies.
Yes. So I'm going to give you a 9.5 out of 10 because the only thing that's wrong on the 0.5 is you said maybe it's Tom Cruise. Of course it's Tom Cruise. Who else is doing this? It's Tom Cruise.
I don't know if maybe he has spy friends.
He does, but it's him and his spy friends doing it. So you're missing a little bit, but you got all the right pieces. It's Tom Cruise is a spy. He's doing impossible things. He's got a mission that's impossible to try and save the world. That's Mission
Impossible. Save the world?
Well, save the U.S. and then save the world and then eventually save the world for real.
Gotcha. Save the cheerleader.
Save the world. Yeah, heroes. I love it. So, basically you've got it though. So as we talk about the basic build, I'm going to start it off since I'm a little bit more familiar, right? I think the most essential parts of a basic build for any adapting Mission Impossible for your D&D homebrew setting and or campaign is pretty much coming up with a series of really impossible things to try and accomplish. Right? It is in the name, but for example, the super famous scene in one of the first couple is Tom Cruise jumping down this laser wire trap that he must jump down into, and he's got a cable on his back, and then he stops himself and he's this. Right inches before the ground, because if he touches the ground, the alarms go off, he's trapped in there, he's dead. And then he sticks a hard drive, or I think he might even stick a floppy disk into a computer and steal data. That's what he's doing. And they've been doing this for a long time. There was floppy disks and CDs and stuff. But that's one of the things. Or in one of the more recent ones, I think it was 6, he's on a train, and he's fighting a bunch of people to try and save people on a train, and then the train goes off the cliff but stops on the edge of the cliff. And the cars start to slowly fall off the edge. So he is trying to get him and his female companion, because he's got a lovely female companion every time, and he must take her and the female companion to get them to vertically climb out of a train car that's like this. It's supposed to, train cars are supposed to be like this. It's like this, and he's climbing up in this way, and the cars are falling, and he leaps into the king, and then as he leaps into the next car, it's the kitchen car, and everything starts to catch on fire because it's the kitchen car and it's holding vertically, and that's not how train cars should go. So then it starts to explode, and he has to go to the next one, and he has to go to the next. The stunt sequences are all insane, And the other thing is insane is that Tom Cruise does all his own stunts. Like they had to delay, I believe, Ghost Protocol, which is number 4. They had to delay the filming by 3 months because he did a leap, one of his famous leaps from one building to another, which he really did, and he shorted it, so he broke his like femur because he like slammed against the side of the building and made it, but didn't totally make it, and so they had to delay filming. So
wow,
yeah, like that is the most essential part. There's spies.
Yeah.
It's an impossible mission with crazy tasks and stunts, right?
Yeah,
That's the essential. So you need a well-planned, crazy stunt scenario.
I mean, yeah. I mean, just based off the way you're describing it, I'm like, we have to reward people for stunt descriptions. Like this has to be a mechanic. Like we have our abilities, right? We have strength, we have dexterity, we have, what are the other ones? Intelligence, wisdom, charisma, constitution. I said them out of order, don't get mad. But like, do we add another ability, or do acrobatics checks and athletics checks like if you use that and then describe the thing, you get like advantage or like +5 or like, what, you know what I mean? Like I feel like we have to reward stunts.
Right. So I think what I would say is, if you're trying to recreate Mission Impossible,
yeah,
and you are a dungeon master who is like by the book, I would say more power to you. Like, I don't know how you're going to accomplish this at the same time, because Tom Cruise drives a motorcycle off a cliff to paraglide his way onto a train, or like he, like in 7, he's like wrestling, like he's like fighting someone on a biplane, like a propeller plane, and like the plane is spinning, and he is like constantly like Tom Cruise is dead like 70,000 times in these movies if you're going to go with any form of realism, and there's nothing in the D&D books that are going to help you run that. It's all rule of cool. So the first thing for sure is embrace the rule of cool, because there's no way these people are going to survive any of the things you throw at them otherwise.
100%.
Like even 100%. The wire drop, I'm pretty sure he just broke his back. Like, I don't understand how he does this. Like, you know, like we need to have the movie like magic, like suspense of disbelief, rule of cool.
Yeah.
Number one. But yeah, let's talk about the mechanic. Like, what kind of mechanic could help us besides rule of cool? Can we like mechanicalize the rule of cool even, so that it allows them to do these stunts over time consistently, but also it's not just like, oh yeah, you try this stupid thing, you succeed. It should be like you build up to this and you try it, because a big part of this is planning on how do they get there, and like having to pivot in the moment, but still doing something crazy they planned for. Like Tom Cruise planned to drive the motorcycle off the cliff. Like it wasn't like willy-nilly. He was like, I'm doing it.
Yeah. Like this is happening. I think, no, that's a good question. I think there's a couple ways I think you can mechanicalize the rule of cool. I think my immediate thing that popped up into my head that made me excited when you were talking was like, do we give them stunt dice?
Ooh.
Like, do we give them like a die that's specifically for stunts, and however high they roll is how cool the stunt is? Like, because again, it's not necessarily like, oh, just because they did a stunt they succeed, but it's no, maybe you describe the stunt, but then you roll the stunt die, and depending on how high, like maybe you either succeed or fail depending on the number you get on the die. And so you could still, kind of in the story you told with him shorting the jump, maybe you could do the stunt, but you hit the ledge and then you have a broken femur and you have disadvantage and all at like physical checks, like for at least like the scene or the next hour, you know, or until you heal yourself.
Okay, so I think what I'm hearing is which would be relatively simple, is let's just say there's like a D10, right?
Yeah.
And you build a table from 1 to 10, and 1 is like disaster, 10 is this is great, 5 is in the middle, and you have like various penalties throughout. And if you've ever played other RPG systems like the Genesis system that Star Wars RPG uses, for example, it has where you look at the dice, you interpret it for the story, and you take penalties to certain things. So like, I would definitely say like the GM and the player can agree a little bit, but have the table and have some of the penalties be like lose health, lose make roll at -1 on this on your dexterity for the next whatever, or you can't make acrobatics checks or whatever. Like build your own custom table for like what these penalties are and how you succeed, and like anything less than like a 7 should be like some form of minor penalty to great penalty. Well, anything 7 or above is like great. If you're a rogue, you're probably better at stunts than like a wizard. Let's have it where you roll the acrobatics check or the athletics check for any of the stunts you're going to try. Maybe even having a separate like piloting skill unique for piloting vehicles or cars or planes, etc.
Yeah.
Right. If you're going to have any of that, like if you're going to do it classic D&D fantasy, then you airships and land whatever's, like stuff like that. But like you succeed on that. If you succeed, you're not going to die, right?
Yeah.
And then you roll the stunt dice to see, but how well did you succeed and did you get hurt? And in that case, especially the 7 thing works are great. Or like, is there a further complication? Like maybe 5 and 6 are like, hey, did you work? You're not hurt, but something else goes wrong.
Yes.
Right. Like for example, the train car is now starting to unhinge, or like classic, like you're holding onto a rope and the rope is starting to unravel. Right. While 4 is you hurt yourself, and like 3 is you really hurt yourself. 2 is you're almost dead, and 1 you actually just you let go of the rope, you died. Like stuff like that.
Yeah.
So okay, how do we feel about that? I feel like that's good.
I love that. I think that's the most fun set. Having a stunt die, having the first rolling the dexterity check or the acrobatics check or whatever to succeed, and then like if you succeed or like get hit or above the DC, then you can roll your stunt die. And then once you roll your stunt die, that determines how well the stunt goes. Beautiful. I think that's a beautiful mechanic for something like the rule of cool.
Yeah. And I think for sure, like, I would potentially build in, like, if you don't succeed within 5, right? Like 5 of the roll, you can potentially save yourself from death, but your stunt is not successful, right? Like, okay, you didn't clear the cliff, but you're now like you landed on like the cliff side and you managed to catch yourself. And then you roll the stunt die to see if you get hurt, right?
That's great.
Because I also think like that should be allowed. If it's like lower than 5, then like nope, you did not succeed, and somebody needs to intervene in some crazy way. Okay, so that's the base build of the mechanic, but this is also pretty much going to give us the right vibe throughout. I think the only other thing I would want to decide is Mission Impossible is obviously set in a setting where there's no magic. Do you like, for example, if you have the ability to cast a spell, levitate or fly, half the things that Tom Cruise does ain't that cool because you could just levitate and fly. So maybe how much magic do we want in this sort of homebrew setting if we're going to do a Mission Impossible?
That's a great question. I wonder if there's a way in which magic is either rare or non-existent. And I think if it is rare, does using magic actually come with its own penalty and consequence? Like maybe, like in the sense of like, we're going to have a world where stunts are the thing that people need to do in order to succeed in things. Do we make magic like, yeah, you can cast it, but it's going to blow you up? Or it's gonna like set everyone on fire, or like maybe magic is as chaotic as the world itself,
right?
In which stunts have to be the thing, or like I said, magic doesn't exist.
The other thing I might say is you might just want to curate the spell list to just take out all of the things that could potentially be super helpful for these skills and or upgrade them. So like jump and long strider are regular first level spells for a lot of people, but like most like. I don't know about you, but like I, as a regular person playing regular D&D, I'm like, if I can't jump across a 15-foot gap, forget it. I'm just not going across the gap,
Right.
Like, and so like jumping is not that important for many parties. And especially when you could choose between jump and charm person, I'm picking charm person because charm person is just a way more effective spell. So I would say like we could you might keep jump and long strider there, or you might even upgrade them to be like level 2 spells because these are actually so important to be able to jump and run faster and like jump across these things. Or like in the 3.5 edition, they had a bunch of stuff like Cat's Grace, which would give you a +40 or dexterity bonus for like 10 minutes. Right? Like those types of spells would make a ton of sense in this universe to help you positively buff these things. And again, think about that, and maybe eliminate fly, levitate, like tensors, floating disk, and like all that sort of stuff. Featherfall, or like make those things like gear, you know, that like make them magic items that do these things, so that it's like, oh, it's a one-time use. So you can do this, or like, hey, this is like break in case of emergency. It's a one-time use. It's not even like you'll got one charge. It's like, oh, I've only got one-time use of this thing, and then it's destroyed, right? Like then it allows you to have some room for error, but like it's like, or like it's a puzzle, but like if only one person can fly and they can do it for 10 minutes. That's so much more interesting for a heist, as opposed to, hey, I'm just going to cast my 3 4th level spells and everyone flies now and we solve the problem. Like, that's not fun.
Yeah.
However, I will say, if you're a dungeon master who's like ambitious about this, you could totally plan Mission Impossible heists with all this magic involved. It's just going to be a lot more work because you have to think so much harder about all of the possibilities. And as somebody who's done stuff like this, like, it's complicated and it's a lot of work. So more power to you if you want to do it. Like, I'm not saying you shouldn't, but there's ways to make it easier if you take some of this stuff out, make them limited use, etc. And just make sure no one's an Aarakocra or something, because then it also makes it a little easier on them too.
No Aarakocras. Yeah. Anti-Aarakocra.
This is one of those scenarios. I'm normally like, whatever, like for a regular D&D campaign, anyone can play whatever they want. In this one, you may want to consider no one being allowed to be the Aarakocra. No one is allowed to be Jonathan.
Yeah, no birds. No, but I will double down a little bit on what you said. Yo, honestly, at least the vibe I would go for, every spell is one time, baby.
Ooh, yeah.
Every spell is one time use. Just like it's one and done, and you don't get it until maybe you go back to headquarters, you know?
Maybe no spell slots, just spell scrolls.
Yup. Just spell scrolls. You use it once and it's gone, baby.
Fascinating. Okay, so that eliminates like the wizard, the druid, all those classes entirely. Maybe you say like the wizard gets to pick like a couple spells they get to use twice or something. Mm-hmm. But again, even then, I would probably just eliminate them and have everyone be spell scrolls to get the right feel.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah,
cool.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
I agree.
That's interesting. Okay, and we've already kind of talked about the extra froth of it all too. Like that's more extra frothy. Like the most important part is the style roll, and for like, hey, we're gonna the stunt roll. I mean, look at me mixing systems. All right, the stunt roll and making that happen. Anything just for us that would be a part of this?
Well, I would wonder what you think, considering I've never seen it.
Okay, well. I'll ask in general but then I'll go for like a general like heist or stunt or rule of cool type movie. What are some of the essential things you'd want to see? Yeah,
in that sense, I think just for me, gotta have a planning phase. I need the like hit the bongos, shake the maracas, dun 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 dun. Oh my God, the theme music has to be there. That I know about Mission Impossible. You have to have a planning phase, and I think you should play the theme music in the game, like out loud for all your players. That's gonna be the best part. That's gonna be the best part of the whole game.
Yeah. Take some inspiration from like Ocean's 11, The Italian Job, like those types of movies, and take that music and play it. There's some great planning phase music from The Italian Job that I use often.
Yes.
Really great stuff. Anyway, yes. Okay, so definitely for that music, and then also making sure there's a planning phase. I love a good planning phase. The other way I would also do that, this is just an aside, it's not any of the categories, but is I also have done this, especially for a one-shot where you don't care about the premise or plot as much, where you're in the middle of the heist, you just do it. But you give everybody a flashback token, right? And what that means is in the middle of the heist, they play the flashback token and they say, that's not true. I actually I won up this because I planned for this, and like, you know how that always works? It's like, actually, you know, like in Ocean's 11 where George Clooney is getting beaten up in the interrogation room, and it's like, actually, he planned for this already, and you see the flashback of him talking to people and hiring people, like, and that's like the coolest part of these types of movies. Yeah, absolutely, I would give people a flashback token, And then they're
Oh
just
my
like, and this is for
gosh.
one shots. Because like it usually that
Yeah.
sort of breaks the game after you do it a couple times.
Right.
But for a one shot, flashback token is amazing. It's like so much fun. And everyone's like, oh, like you could use it for the greatest of circumstances. And of course, you as the dungeon master have to push the player to make it good. It can't just be, oh yeah, I planned for this and I shoot him with a gun in my pocket. It's like, all right, well that's lame. Like it's like no. Like if you're gonna shoot him with the gun in the pocket, how did you get the gun through? How did this work? Blah blah blah. Like, and you'll have to have like a description of this character like floating, like going through the sewers and planting this or whatever, like all that sort of crazy stuff, you know. So the weird chest for me is twofold. One is one of the most important parts of Mission Impossible lore is the ability to disguise yourself as anybody else through a disguise kit thing where they put the mask and they famously rip the mask off and it's somebody else entirely. It's ridiculous how they do this. Like it's pseudoscience, but who cares? We're in a magic world. Disguise kits absolutely have to be done and like should be frequent and usable a lot as plot points. That should definitely be the case. The other most famous part about a Mission Impossible is your mission, should you choose to accept it, blah, 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 is blah, 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 and this message will explode in 60 seconds or whatever. So absolutely, as a dungeon master, please plan for this great, like, someone hands you a speech stone with an explosive rune, and like it's just you have the, all right, everybody, here's your mission. It's impossible and it's really difficult, but you believe only you can do it. The fate of the realms holds in your hands. Your mission, should you choose to accept it, is blah 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 blah. This message will explode in 60 seconds. You know, like we need that. That's like the best part. Let's go to I. That was W just for us. I, Inciting Quest. What is this campaign going to be about?
Well, it's gotta be I don't know. Actually, that's a good question. I think
you're going to say it's got to be a mission and it's got to be impossible.
I was gonna say that, yes, and I took it back. But
no, it's got to be a slice of life, and we're just hanging out, and it's got to be possible.
We're just hanging out, and it's possible. It's us getting drinks. It's us just like getting wings.
So
wings.
You joke,
and
but
water.
I would absolutely play a slice of life anime campaign. I would eat that up. I love it so much. But anyway.
Yeah. I mean, to your point, I was gonna say like, oh, you could do it a couple different ways. Like, you're probably gonna be the more expert on this than I am, but my brain goes, oh, if it's an inciting incident, it's like we as a group of or a team haven't been together in a minute, and we each are separately in our own slices of life get a little sending stone that like self-destructs, and it's like, hey, we need you for one last mission. Like, can you do this? And like that's the inciting incident, is like, this is the last one and we need you, and all of you being like, yeah, for good old times, and like getting back together to like accomplish this mission to save the world.
If the players are down, which is something you should talk about in a session 0. I think that's a great premise. I think one of the cool parts about Mission Impossible is that the team aspect of it all. It's very much a team, right? So I would ask if someone is willing to be, if everyone's down for one of the players at the table to be Ethan Hunt, aka Tom Cruise, and be the guy who gets the mission, and then he goes and recruits everybody.
Wait, that's amazing.
Right. Which would be a first half of a session, or like first whole entire session might just be recruitment. And like and you all like prep, like, this is where I'm at and my scenario, and the dungeon master and everybody else plans where they're at, and the player has to figure out how to handle it all as they recruit over time. And that would be a really cool first session. Like, you session 0, plan it all. The player has the main character, Tom Cruise / Ethan Hunt, has no idea what everyone else is up to, but they find them, and like they all lead to each other, and like that would be super cool. That'd be an amazing first quest and session. And that's like already a little bit of that planning phase energy is like, like you have the impossible problem, and you go to the first person, you give them the problem, and everyone's like, we're gonna need somebody like this, and then you go,
yes,
you know, you son of a, I'm in.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, hey, if you want to do this mission, did you call Jimmy? And it's like, oh yeah, flat, like smash cut to Jimmy in like the mechanic shop, like fixing a truck.
Like,
you know what I mean?
Can't do it. And he slides out from under the car. I can't do it.
Pulls the thing down. No way, boss. Turns around. And it's like, what do you mean, Jimmy? We need you, Jimmy. We need you. Yeah. You know, finally, I won't say yes unless you call Deborah.
Yeah, and then Deborah's there. Deborah's like at the bar, just like,
yeah, exactly.
Just like,
Oh my
Like,
gosh, I
her
love
build tab is like, it's to get thrown out of the bar because her build tab's too high. And it's like, hey, Deborah, how you doing? Never better.
Yeah, never better. Oh, a mission? As long as you pay by tab.
Yep, pay my
Like,
tab, cover my debts,
right.
we're in. You know, like,
yeah.
yeah.
Oh, have you hit up Kenny? And then Kenny's got like 5 kids on his arm.
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
I don't know if I can. Oh, that's
Let me
great.
ask
That's
my
great.
wife.
Exactly. Let me ask your wife about a mission? Crazy. Yeah, that's great. I love that.
Amazing. Okay, that's actually probably my favorite inciting quest. That's so much fun. Like,
Yeah.
okay, well, the final thing is, who's the big bad?
Oh, I don't know.
This,
That's all you, buddy.
well, so here's the deal. Like I don't remember any of the big bads in almost any of these things. Like, it's much more like the concept is what Mission Impossible is talking about. So like Ghost Protocol and like 3, 4, and 5, I think, are kind of like all like terrorism, like anti-terrorism type stuff, right? While 1 and 2 are all like Y2K thoughts and things. And then the last 2, 6 and 7, are all about AI, right? So like it's just like the villain is all like what's of the scare of the era. So I don't know. Like I think with that we could figure out what's a cool like D&D thing.
Yeah.
Like that is like that, because it's really much more the theme and concept is important, and then you find someone who fits the bill for that. Like I don't even remember why the dude is the villain in the thing, but I know he's associated with an AI.
Right.
Also,
right.
if you have watched Mission Impossible 6 and 7, which you do not need to, Taylor. The writers, I think this was written during the writer's strike, the writers do not know what AI is, and they do not know what makes a good AI, because it's like, the AI is magic, basically. Like, it's just like, what? I don't understand. Like, anyway, I don't even know that much about AI, but I'm like, I know that's wrong.
Kind of amazing.
So yeah, like, what would be like a
amazing.
theme like that could be like a fantasy, existential crisis theme?
I mean, even you bringing up AI, I'm like, there's totally so many ways you can like magically do artificial intelligence if you needed to. Like maybe there's like some organization that made a spell come to life, and now like maybe it's a detect thought spell that like became like they turned into a creature. It's like a living spell, and now the spell is like stealing people's thoughts, or like it's a sleep spell and it's putting everyone to sleep, and like your mission is to like stop this spell from like just like taking everyone's thoughts or something. That's like this thing that like isn't technically a creature or human, but that has a grown sentience, and it's like, oh, you have to stop. It's something that can be relevant, it's like relevant to our world, but it's also so D&D,
right?
That it's like, oh, a living spell is wild.
That's pretty wild. What I would say is, I think the essential part is also that this is supposed to be clandestine, so you can't just like walk in there guns blazing, Die Hard style. Which, for the record, do I want to do Die Hard for this? Absolutely, love it.
Yes.
Ho ho ho!
Yes.
Now I have a +3 sword. Absolutely.
100%.
Now I have a hand crossbow. Amazing. The villain of this should be somebody who cannot be touched by legal conventional means. Like that's like the main themes. Like the AI one is unhittable because it's AI, but also like nobody believes it's like a thing, right? Yeah. And nobody wants to talk about that it's a thing, because if everyone starts to acknowledge it, there's a global panic and like all this sort of stuff. And like that's all of them. They're all like, you can't really address it through conventional means. You have to go under the table. So probably like the villain is like the king, or like the son of a king, or a noble. Yes. Of some kind, and they're let's use your living spell thing, because that's fascinating. And like this guy's touched magic he's not supposed to, and no one wants to get the secret of how he made a spell come alive out.
Yes,
because that's just bonkers, and they want to destroy this evidence so that no one can make living spells ever again.
Yeah, that's good. And then it's also like, you have to be careful because he's the king, and like maybe he's a respected king.
Right.
So it's like, he's a good guy. Like, at least in the public eye, one of the best kings they've had. So it's like, you can't also really take him out, because like then you become the bad guys. So,
Right,
Yeah.
right. That's why because otherwise it would just be mission really hard or mission Rambo, right? But it's mission impossible, and it's like you have to destroy this living spell, destroy the data, and delete the information from his mind without killing him and anyone else knowing. That's like that's impossible.
No, that's impossible.
Yes. Questing impossible. Here we go.
Questing impossible. Oh, that's good. I like that.
Question mark impossible.
Yeah. That was good.
Dude, like, what if there was a Spanish version of this that's just, the question marks up, like, upside down?
Yeah.
Question mark impossible.
That's
ridiculous.
Good. That's good.
That sounds like a really bad, like, C-list movie title, which I'm very into. Okay, so just to recap, we created, we're doing Mission Impossible, trying to make it in D&D. We've got a stunt dice. We're going to use a D10, and you're going to have 1 through 6 be like some sort of failure that hurts and penalizes the person. Well, 7 through 10 are fine. And you'll roll like regular acrobatics and athletics checks to succeed on stunts that you're going to try. But there might be complications if you roll a 5 through 6, or you might outright get hurt or die if you roll too low. And then also, like, we have a little bit of grace room for like if you roll a little bit lower than the DC, you might be able to roll the stunt die to like have complications but not die immediately, but just be in a really dangerous situation. We also talked about, in general, like, we want this to be the rule of cool. If you're going to try and do this hyper realism, maybe not. And you may want to curate the spell list to eliminate a bunch of spells that are like really like OP, like fly or like the floating disc or stuff like that. But keeping stuff like jump and long strider, and like actually maybe people will really take it because it will actually help them accomplish these tasks a lot greater, which is kind of cool. Just for us, we were thinking about like the like your mission, should you choose to accept it, and the team making aspect of it all, and the heisting and planning phase of it all is very important for us. The inciting quest is probably my most exciting one so far, which is you have someone designated as the lead Tom Cruise character who goes around and recruits everybody. That's the first quest. Super cool, super fun. You son of a, I'm in. I'm so into that. And then the villain, let's make them the king of the land, who has created a living spell. Crazy. The mission is to take out the spell, delete the information from his mind, and destroy all records so no one can create living spells ever again. That's pretty cool. If you like that, you can leave some stuff in the comments. If you ever run this, please comment on this as well. And like and subscribe for more content just like this. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video.
Jurassic Park, How to Train Your Dragon, The Princess Bride, Inception, Matrix, Mad Max, Fury Road, John Wick, Ghostbusters, Pokemon, Hunger Games, 28 days later.
Hey there, just want to shout out to our patrons. Thanks so much for subscribing on Patreon and supporting the show. Thanks to Count Bubba, Fizz, Fedorable Will, Richard, Varner Jr., and Who's Scruffy Looking.